And we are live. I always say I hope we're live because, I don't know. Sometimes the StreamYard gods and the YouTube gods don't cooperate. I don't know. Yeah. Is that good?
It says right there. I just got a thing that says watch live now.
All right. So we're good. Nice. Okay. We're hoping that we're streaming live. We're hoping that we're feeding good. We shall see. We'll wait for some feedback from the peeps out there, the SMT Nation. What's up, Carlos?
What's up, man? How are you, bro?
Good, man. It's Friday night. You got the SMT and Low Square in the house.
It's Friday night. People got paid.
Can I
Ready
get paid?
Home, get faded.
Yeah. Getting it in.
Maybe they might go and have a little fun. They might
Friday,
get
right?
lucky with the they might get lucky with the old lady.
Oh man. Ricky Florida Keys is possibly here. We got 47 in the live. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of roll call here. Get the SMT Nation represented up in hither. Freaky Giraffes is here. Maybe. This is some of the early comments, so we'll see. India LD is here. Ciova, the brother. Ciova. Haven't seen a video from Ciova for a while.
I know. What's going on?
We'll see if maybe he's got some for us pretty soon. He's always got good live streams, too. Dan is here. Maverick is here. You guys keep it civil, huh? Get in line. Alexis is here. Robert is here. Well, actually, these are some of the first initial comments. I don't even know if they're still around. Hopefully they are. Ron, the homie, is here. John, the homie, is here.
Oh, what up, what up, what up?
Cash Games in the house.
What's up, Cash Games? What's up?
Friend of the show, friend of the channel. Feye is here.
What up, Feye?
Big time contributor to the channel. We appreciate you being here.
Are you ready for that hammer?
I offered it to her. We'll see if she ever decides she wants it.
I know she needs to lay the smackdown on that hammer on some people.
Yeah, we up in here. What's up, Diego? Michael is here. Greetings and salutations. Bob is here. Good to have you on, Bob.
What's up?
I don't know if this is Bob's first time on the live stream. Not sure if
it is. Welcome.
Yeah, good to have you. Faye is saying Sprint is making me mad tonight. She maybe is having signal issues possibly or speed issues.
She's a Sprint?
I wasn't sure. This is the first I knew of this. So, I mean, sometimes we know people's carriers because they always, bellyache or complain about them. So, should fire him. John switched to AT&T. We got a switcher.
Yeah, great move. You know what, man? I feel like clapping for him. Like straight up. Congratulations.
Faye's saying she's waiting on the lifelong merger. It's taking forever, bro. She's right. What's up, bro? What's happening, Brian?
I'll give you the best point of advice, Faye. Just go to AT&T. I'm telling you, you will not regret it.
The thing is, though, Carlos, is like, some people they're not. It's not easy to switch for them. They're worried. We've seen trade-in problems. We've seen account issues. People are apprehensive sometimes, bro. I can't blame them, man.
I understand.
What's up, Gary?
Especially with what last night we experienced. Woo.
Maybe we'll talk about that tonight, man. We'll make that a piece.
No, we need to make that aware to people because that's actually a consumer thing, and they really need to be made aware of this.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
to save them the hassle. My friend went through a lot. You heard all of it last night, bro. Like, we'll talk about it later, but
sure.
You know that what happened,
right? We got 66 in the live. It's good to have you guys here. Ruth is here. Oh, the homie Tim Man, commenter, longtime subscriber, viewer, friend of the channel. Good to have you on, man. He doesn't stop by often on the live, so it's good to see him. Swiss cheese 007. All right, we got video. That's feeding good. Okay. Wow, man, there's a lot in the live chat. I try to catch up here. Robert's here. DJ Lunastar, haven't seen you in a while. It's good to have you on. I remember DJ Lunastar. I think she had maybe Boost months ago. Since I remember, I'm getting old, man. I don't know. But I remember she was asking questions about Boost or commenting about Boost something. Hey, Shane. So
If you already I would look at it like this: if you have Boost and you really are in an area where you're getting decent Sprint coverage and you just want the affordability, I would rather go to the Sprint side if I was gonna stick around with it, because at least you get the extended LTE agreements, you get the better end of the network, you get more gigabyte usage, you get hotspots, you get all the perks.
what's up, Light Bar Videos? Good to have you on. You ain't lying, bro. Anthony Yonker is here. Oh, Raina Woman, long time no see. Don't know if I said Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year to you as well, if it's been that long. Not sure. It's possible.
Well, Happy New Year.
Has that nice note the spouse wants. Sup, Obed. Brian, we'll be talking about the merger a little bit today. It'll kind of be like the introduction, the beginning point, so we'll get going. What's up, Gerald? It's ZZ. KRZE. I don't even know how you would say that. Mr. Derby. I mean, I think there's some good news in it. Hugh from Florida. What's happening? 3 replacement phones. Don't stay connected. It ain't the phones, my brother. It ain't the phones.
It ain't the phones. I promise you it ain't the phones.
Black Knight. What's up, bro? Michael, my dude. Good to have you on.
What's up?
Oh, so Bob is not a first-time listener here. He just doesn't say much, so he's a quiet feller.
He's a listener.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
You
that.
learn more when you listen, right?
Yeah, it's very
a
true.
Jersey for Snead with the number 88 on the back. Well, what does 88 represent?
I don't know.
John says that your audio is not very loud. I don't know. It's not bad. I can hear you pretty clean. Yeah,
Hey,
I knew it.
John, how does it sound now? Better?
It's good. It's a little louder.
Okay.
My last Sprint bill was only $10. They work fine here.
Dang.
You got it like that, huh?
Damn,
AT&T
on
is
lockdown for $10.
Bro, DJ Lunastar is not a fan of AT&T, bro. You're gonna have to slow your roll, Carlos. She ain't claiming no AT&T, man.
Woo, you're missing out.
T-Mobile King in NYC. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. I've never been there myself.
I had my friend that just came back from the Bronx, bro. He has T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon, bro. He told me he couldn't even watch a video on YouTube of AT&T over there in the Bronx.
Tim Mann's saying that AT&T drops the HSPA plus too much. Maybe they need some network upgrades. Maybe those are areas they didn't get to yet.
Yeah.
So here's a situation where, like, by region, if you have coverage from a certain carrier, it could be good. Like, we know Boost has limitations. It's Sprint's native network, and you don't get the roaming agreements and stuff like that. But, like, here's a case like with DJ Lunastar. She says it's good for her, so,
Yeah.
Sprint is 5G in Dallas. That's good to hear.
Yeah, their 5G is good.
Looks like Sprint's working on towers, 140 megs. They must have boosted up the antennas or something.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did spend what, like 12, 13 billion?
Gerald, it's complicated. Me and Carlos have had this conversation before. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about it later.
Yes.
2G services. Man, throwback, buddy.
Whoa.
Christopher, what's going on? Contracts, yes, sir. Mr. Derby, not a fan of Sprint. Tom, good to have you on. This should be bought by Claro. I don't know. Unlimited Kickstart. They do. It's like $35, right? The Kickstart currently?
35 smacks.
Limited HD streaming, 30 gigs of mobile hotspot. That's what, the $50 plan?
With Boost, really?
I feel like it is. I feel like it's $50. And I think the newest one gets you, I think gives you 50 gigs of hotspot, maybe. I don't know.
Holy crap!
I don't know if that's the
really
older
good.
one or the newer one. She got the LG Stylo 5. It's a nice phone if you want like a kind of a mid-ranger with a stylus. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's where LG's always been good with their mid-range devices.
Bro, could you imagine if they put a 6 series processor to that? Charge $350.
Yeah.
You know,
Good.
give it a HD display, you know, all the things that it has. What's up, my captain, my king? Glad you enjoy the show. Matt Dubb, big time supporter and friend of the channel.
What up?
Steve in the house, the homies.
What's up, Steve?
Ramon Ariel Quinones Ocasio, if I said that right. For from
Bodyland.
yeah, from the island.
From the Bodyland.
Man, this I literally can't catch up in the live. I'm trying, bro. I might have to just scroll down. I'm looking for just like the people I haven't greeted yet. You know what I'm saying? I got to Obed. I got okay. So here's what we're gonna
There's
do.
86 in the house, bro. What do you
I
expect?
know we got a lot. That's awesome, bro. Glad to have you guys. Paying $100 for Sprint services on 5 gadgets, so I don't guess that's a really good deal. $20 a line, cuz.
Smoking.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Smoking, bro. Take my money. All
right,
cheap.
and my goal is to be on here for 1 hour. We're already like 15 minutes in, and we're just doing intros and stuff. So let me just go ahead and kind of, list all the things we're going to cover in today's live stream for the podcast. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll open with the merger trial. We'll just kind of put a bow to it, tie up loose ends on it for anybody that has missed the most recent updates and things like that. So we'll just kind of do that. We'll talk about the Wall Street angle, their view, their perspective. We'll talk about our coverage and the way that we see it. There's a complete misalignment between what we think and what we see versus Wall Street.
Yep.
So what's up, Vincent? Good to have you on. We'll also talk about kind of judge's perspective, how a judge should be looking at it, what the judge is probably thinking, and then what we can expect here probably for the next few weeks, because we won't hear from the judge till some point in February. The Tunney Act review is going on with another judge. It's Timothy Kelly. He's got he's got open comment right now. So Peter Adderton has sent in a letter. A lot of people can voice their opinions. The general public can too. So it's good. I actually like that. I have a problem with Dish. You know that, Carlos. We have our doubts, bro. So,
no,
like it's legit, and I think it's good for that purpose. But again, I think the correct regulations and concessions could kind of get this right.
The only way that the low-end consumers can be protected is if you really do have a concern, you should write a letter. So your statement could be known to that judge.
We're okay with that, bro. Like, it's part of the process, right?
So maybe they'll put some tough regulations on Dish and be like, hey, well, if you guys screw up and do this, now we're going to slap this bigger fine on you.
Carlos, you know what's crazy? I did those 2 videos why Dish would fail as a mobile carrier and why they would succeed. The fail video got like 5,000-6,000 views. The succeed video got like 1,500 views. It tells you like people are all about the negativity, bro.
No, they're gonna. I mean, who knows, man?
Yeah,
nobody knows anymore. I'm so confused about it. I'm just
our heads are spinning, bro.
Too much news, too much fake news, too much. It just doesn't make sense anymore, man. You got people speculating. Your child's in the house.
What's up, son? That's my boy.
Well,
all right. So we'll do some of the merger stuff, the trial. We're also going to be looking into consumer versus business. As a wireless subscriber, what are the differences in the experiences, the plans, the pricing, customer care? Carlos is going to speak to that, I think, a little bit. I've kind of been on both sides of that, so I can offer some commentary. We'll also be talking about just general consumer information. So costs of plans, where they're at from each carrier. Is the price difference big enough to where you should be making your decision based on pricing? And me and Carlos, I think we're kind of in agreement on it, actually. I really wish we were different. It's nice to have both sides of the coin, where you're on one side, I'm on the other. Like, that's usually how these panels work. But we're kind of in agreement on it. So we'll talk about switching, the pains of possibly, going through things that customers experience, changing carriers, switching, trade-in problems. We'll, some recent stuff that happened with a friend of Carlos, and they're all legitimate, concerns. So we got 85 in the live. It's good to have you guys. Please do hit the like button if you are just coming in. Greatly appreciated. If this is your first time here, welcome to you. If you are a returning subscriber, we are glad to have you back. Let's do some quick shout outs and then we'll move forward. So we got the SMT Patreon page. We've got about 27 or 28 patrons, and they are some of the OG homies, those that have been riding with me and supporting production here on the channel. Appreciate you greatly. If you're interested in joining the community there are $1 tier, $2 tier, and there's a $3 tier. The $3 tier is the Super SMT tier. For Carlos, from what I understand, average Patreon memberships are $9. So, I'm coming in at $1, $2, and $3, and really all it is I want to just make that community bigger. So I've kept the tier cost lower, and I try to offer exclusive content, perks, becoming a moderator here on the live stream. I try to, create enough of a benefit to make people want to join. So if you guys are interested and you want to see what's offered there, consider joining. The link is in the description box. We also have the SMT Wireless Report, the podcast. We're on Spotify, Breaker. They're on Anchor. I mean, there's like 6 or 7 platforms that we have our podcast on there. So check that out as well. We have the SMT Twitter. You can find us at Sneed Tech. I've gotten pretty active on Twitter. Carlos is on there too. I'll be getting to Carlos's thing shortly. So we'll be talking about his channel and stuff. And also the second channel, which is important to these live streams, because what happens is I have these live streams up for about a week. And then what happens is I archive them over to the live stream channel. So I highly recommend you guys subscribing to the second channel. Get the notification bell. If you ever want to replay, rewatch, or you miss and you want to catch it on the replay, it's there. So the Steam Mobile Tech live streams channel, go ahead and do that. And one last thing from my end, and then we'll talk about Carlos's stuff. Yeah, thank you, Carlos. That's the Steam Mobile Tech live streams channel. All the stuff gets archived and put there that's live. And lastly, on my side, before I talk about Carlos's stuff, the SMT sponsor, we'll just do a quick little blurb here. Support me and take control of your social media at megadon.net. I've got an invite link there. No ads, no tracking, no algorithms. If you're serious about your cybersecurity and your social media security, do check out that link there. Pretty nice. And they do support the SMT channel. So important information there. Now, Carlos's stuff. Carlos has the YouTube channel. Carlos is up to 125 subs. Looks like Carlos is starting to really catch some traction in the algorithm. He's uploading videos. He's doing lives. He's going to be doing the whole thing. So we're proud to support him here on my channel. Love it if you guys could subscribe to him. And,
thank you, bro.
And
thank you for everything.
You're a big contributor here, Carlos. So we definitely want to, show that we support you and all that. Okay,
I appreciate everything.
Yeah, so we got that. I got a link in the description box for his. And then we also have his Twitter handle in there too. And Carlos, you are a solid follow on Twitter. Like it's good stuff. It's entertaining. We see all the speed testing. We get all the moves that you're making around the Vegas area when you travel through the desert, and you share all your speed testing experiences. And the topics, the subjects you cover are good. And you're all about informing the consumer, which is, it's a great civil duty that you're doing. Like it's something we overlook, right? Like everybody just makes moves and they don't know. They got to be informed, and that's kind of what your goal is and your mission.
Bro, I'd rather chew up the cost of a $1,300 phone and give you a review on it and test the technology out versus the person having to do it and then have to deal with the crappy return policy.
And the thing is, Carlos is savvy. A lot of consumers don't know what your kind of like consumer rights are with these companies. So it's important that we kind of empower them, let them know what they can and can't do, and how to hold these companies like accountable for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
What's up, Stacey? Good to have you on. George is here, also a patron. Good to have you on. Robert subscribed. Awesome. Michael is subscribed. Fantastic. Michael Pepper Talk is in the house. Good to have you guys. Glad you guys are all here. We got 88 in the live. Amazing. Awesome. All right. So, Carlos, let's, you good to go? We ready to start? He fell out. We'll be waiting for him to come back. All right. So, here's what we'll do. Let's go ahead and just recap what we've been seeing from the merger side. So, I know a lot of people have been asking since we went live, asking about the merger, the trial, where things kind of stand. So, that's what we'll kind of start with. So, Carlos, coming back in here, the merger trial.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Oh, okay. So he's not ready. All right. It's cool. He'll let us know when he's ready. Okay. So when it comes to the merger trial, it's done. There's not really much else to cover. The closing arguments were Wednesday. We got to hear closing arguments from T-Mobile, their executives. This is the situation where T-Mobile gave their piece, Sprint gave their piece. We also had the states kind of come in and say their piece, right? Their final arguments. Nothing earth-shattering, groundbreaking. We didn't learn anything new from the merger or any of the pieces or parts that are involved. You know, nothing new from Dish, nothing new from concessions or anything.
Cool.
But here's what we know, okay, when it comes to the merger trial. Being that it is now completed and it's done, all we're waiting on now are two things. There's two judges involved. Judge number one, who is the presiding judge of the case, is Judge Victor Marrero of Federal Court Manhattan. All right. Now, he is a judge that has overseen the whole thing from day one. There's a second judge who is Judge Timothy Kelly, who is a presiding judge in Washington, who has opened up kind of a comment period. So you can write letters, you can voice your opinion. Where do you stand on this? It's nice to see that. I'm all for that. I'm perfectly fine with it. I think we're going to know more about Timothy Kelly in like the next 2 weeks. And then shortly after that, we'll get Judge Marrero's final say in his verdict. So I think that's kind of how it's going to play out.
And they said what? February, right?
Yeah. So we should, I don't know, maybe second week, you know, something like that. So there's no rush to come to a conclusion. I mean, it's already come this far. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally been over a year since this thing has been approved, basically. Because it was supposed to start in October. It got pushed to December. We did know that Judge Marrero wanted to accelerate it and streamline the process, which he did. I mean, closing arguments were last week. We're this week. And then everything was pretty much done. All the new stuff was done in December before the holidays. So that's a wrap. We're just waiting on final judgment. Here's what I will say. We've got like two groups of people, schools of thought on the merger right now. Wall Street. We're talking about market analysts. We're talking about people with money, people that watch the people with money, investors, you know, shares, pricing, and all that. They are bullish on the merger. Most, if not all, that speak in the media, which again, I don't know where they come from with this. I really don't. They're market analysts. What do they like? I don't, whatever. All right. So they say that they're more than, and this is every single one that comments, you know, in the media. That doesn't mean it's all of them. It's the ones willing to comment. They say more than 60% likelihood that the merger is blocked. The problem is you don't see the other analysts that are saying that they think that the merger is going to be approved from the judge. You know, there has to be some. There's no way that all of them are on the same side. So to me, I feel like it's some of that propaganda. I think some of that is the media being kind of toyed with by the merger block attempt. Like it really feels that way, because the market analysts are not judges, nor are they even lawyers to understand the legalities of this. Because Carlos, you know better than me, bro. There are two governing bodies of this merger, and they have both approved that, and that matters.
Yeah, they already said it's a green light. It's been a green light for a while, about a year.
See, I don't care about Sprint's financial decision in this. I don't care if Sprint fails or goes bankrupt. I don't think they will. I don't even care if they do. But I'm looking at this from a consumer standpoint, not from pricing. Bro, pricing's going up regardless. I'm looking at it from a network capacity standpoint. People on T-Mobile are suffering capacity issues, right?
Big time.
And then Sprint's network needs reinvestment, which a combined company can do more. And three legitimate strong carriers much better than two, right?
Yep, because Sprint has the spectrum to back up T-Mobile in this congested era.
So like what does Wall Street know about any of this? They don't. And what I heard Judge Murad say at times, he was inquiring about network performance. He was inquiring about market performance. It was not about it didn't seem personal. Like sometimes you feel kind of like the politics of it. I didn't get that from him.
No.
Yeah. So to me, to the bystander who followed the story, who followed the trial day to day, I'm looking at it from a judge's perspective. What did the states accomplish? Not much. I don't see what they
didn't
did.
Have enough evidence,
bro.
They didn't even throw good evidence, bro.
Their goal was to offer defamation. They tried to make John and Deutsche Telekom and Charlie Ergen and Marcelo WhatsApp messages like it was completely irrelevant to the facts.
What they don't understand is the longer this takes, the longer you're putting these two companies behind, because they don't want to invest and then reinvest again. They rather just combine and then invest heavily.
Because I look at this from a legal standpoint. We've got a judge who has a job, been sworn in to literally look for fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact is the FCC and the DOJ approved it. The fact is that those are the governing bodies of this transaction.
Exactly.
I don't see from a legal side how this could be blocked. But the political climate now is funky. Has this country ever been this separate politically? I don't know. It's been a long time since I'm obviously only 36 years old. I mean, a lot has, predates me, but I really do feel like Washington is very divided. I feel like political parties are really creating the line in the sand. So it's possible that if the judge operates in that way, we could see that too.
We could see the denial. Exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's the thing, though, Sneed. If it gets denied, man, a lot of people, bro, screw the market analysts, screw all them. It's the customers that will suffer at the end because T-Mobile doesn't have any left, bro. They got to hike up their prices to be able to push out the little bit of spectrum they got left to push out. They don't have much left to push out.
Right. I feel like all consumers can actually be protected here. So the consumers that are not money sensitive, that are on postpaid, that are getting premium data plans, they're probably happy about this, about a merger, right? They're thinking, okay, well, we're going to get a really highly capacitive third carrier. They're like, oh, well, if my bill went up 5%, do I even care? If my bill went up 10%, I don't really care. I mean, I'm getting a 5G connection.
Yeah.
My data traffic is going to get more capacitive. It'll be faster, more reliable, more advanced. My applications will run better. New opportunities for AR, VR, my business, my enterprise, all this stuff changes, right?
Exactly.
Okay, now who needs the protections really is low income. So we have many of the low income, we're talking prepaid here. So MVNO and prepaid actually needs the attention. So if states really want to do something, the protection should be going there. The focus needs to be on Dish and that needs to be remedied more than anything. But
Exactly.
I haven't seen it from them.
They need to tighten the muscle on Dish, so then they don't do something to hurt the low income consumer.
Simply
And instead of
blocking to
worrying
block.
so much,
Simply
instead of
blocking to
worrying all
block.
this instead of blocking, they need to worry more about that. Honestly, that's what this trial should have been about. It shouldn't have been about blocking the network. They could have been right now. Think about it. They're already a year behind. Well, I mean, at least 2 because this
Infrastructure.
has been
Yes,
going on for 2 years.
infrastructure. Right. Yeah.
And AT&T has had 2 years to catch up. And look at the monstrosity they put out.
I think the one thing that T-Mobile knew is that standalone services weren't going to be a thing until 2020. They've been willing to wait up until this point. They're actually probably okay to be a year behind because once they get the 2.5, it's time to accelerate. They can catch up. Bro, 200 plus megahertz nationwide? Pfft. Come on, bro.
Yep. During congestion, that would be good.
So from a bystander standpoint, following every day in trial, looking at all the facts, it makes no sense for the judge to block this. It really doesn't. If the judge is actually doing his job as judges are supposed to, he's just hearing this to hear it because it's just standard protocol.
Yep, as much as you don't want to.
You know, I'm sure he wants to stick with his side. He is a Democratic appointee, I think, from the Clinton administration, but he has no ties to these state attorneys general. I don't think Letitia James has been there since the 90s. Judge Murrow's been there since the 90s. Loyalty is a thing. I get it, but you got to do the right thing if you're a judge. Like, you can't. Dude, you really going to risk it? You going to risk it, bro?
I mean, there's some that do need, and that's the thing. There are some that can be bought. You know, and that's the sad part, because you know how in this country, bro, money talks.
We'll know more in a couple of weeks. We're expecting some Timothy Kelly feedback in a couple of weeks, and then we've got probably Judge Murrow's decision soon after. So
let's hope for the best.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't happen, then you got two networks that just fell a couple years behind more.
Thanks, Robert. I'm naive. All right.
No, really? You said that?
Like Robert, what do you want me to say? Do you want me to just say, like, I'm not supposed to say what a judge is supposed to do? Really? Is that what you want? I'm naive now because I don't know what a judge is supposed to do. All right. Anyways, moving on, bro. All right. Let's talk consumer versus business. We got 92 in the live. Good to have you guys. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Consumer versus business. So general consumer is what I am. I don't own or operate a business. I don't have a dozen lines to activate, right? I don't have any needs for specialty hotspots or running point of sales type equipment. I'm just a regular consumer. What Carlos typically represents as a consumer is both. He's on the consumer side. He's also enterprise or business side. So his experience, he can kind of speak to plans, pricing, priority, and customer care from the business side. So Carlos, just kind of share what it's like being on the business enterprise side. And of course, he's speaking to the AT&T experience.
Amazing. It is an amazing experience. They treat you like you're royalty. Yesterday, I went to go add a line. All I did was walk in and say, I need to add a line to my business account. In 30 seconds, I was assisted. I was in and out of that store in less than 15 minutes with a new line added. They stopped doing everything just to assist you. And they make sure everything works. They test it. They even offer you water, man, if you want some water, bro. Like, that is crazy.
Right.
Like, you're literally like royalty when you go in. I never got that experience with T-Mobile Business, bro. Not even Verizon Business, because I've been with Verizon Business too. I ain't get that experience with them, but with AT&T Business, I'm getting treated like king, bro.
It's interesting to see how AT&T has kind of revamped their business segment with
They've changed.
Yeah, it's very different because I could tell from your experience. I mean, on Twitter, you kind of had the video going on, and I could tell.
Yeah.
You could tell like they put it all aside to take care of you. And look, business is important. People like time is money to a business. Not to say that other people don't have important things to take care of, but why are you paying your premium pricing as a business enterprise?
To be able to be in and out.
So
Because I got to make money.
So not only is AT&T offering you priority on network, they're offering you priority in customer care, they're offering you priority in premium services. They are going above and beyond the expectation of the standard consumer to give you a tier. So if you want special treatment, if you want the premium experience, business is really where it's at, especially with AT&T. I can't speak to the T-Mobile business. I know Pete can a little bit. I don't even know if he's here in the live, but he speaks very highly of his treatment on the business side. But most of his communications with T-Mobile Business and Enterprise is remote, so he's speaking on the phone.
Yes. No, on the phone, T-Mobile Business, they do treat you good, bro. I can't say no because they've treated me excellent when I used to be with them. But in the store, bro, the store, I mean, you've seen it on the live too, bro. Like they treat you horrible. They promise you stuff, and you go back to bring it back. Then they slap you with fees. AT&T Business, bro, I can keep the phone for 30 days. Go take it back. I don't even get charged a restocking fee.
So it's a different set of parameters for their policies. It's different hardware policies and smartphones. They do different things with plans and pricing. Pricing is actually cheaper on a per line basis.
Yeah.
But the thing is right. But the thing is they know that businesses and enterprise, there's no churn. It's super, super low. People don't want to leave, bro. That's difficult. Like Carlos, what if you got 15 devices and you got 15 guys, you got a crew? Who knows where they're at any given day? You got to bring them in and swap and trade stuff in and go to another carrier. It's pain.
It's a pain. It really is. With the 8 guys that I have to deal with already, it's a pain.
So I say that to say, like, there's no churn. So they want to ensure we're not losing these 15 lines, these 10 lines, these 12 lines, all these devices, all the potential business in the future, you know, especially a successful business, bro. They know what you earn. They look up your business. They get your tax ID number. They know what time it is, bro.
They look it up. Trust me. They even call the bank that you bank with because they ask you for the debit card that you bank with. They make sure that your account's legit, bro. So they know what you're making, bro. They know what you're dealing with. They don't mess around. They verify the business.
So it's different in terms of experience when you go enterprise versus consumer. It's clearly there's a clear line. I feel like it makes sense to me. But in terms of the consumer side, you know, when you put kind of, you know, the business to the side, from the consumer side, I think people are really selling themselves short. Yeah. What people are really sensitive to money, I think incorrectly. Now, look, if you have a very limited income, but you insist on having postpaid, then maybe $5 a month per line is important. But I'm telling you, there are a huge number of customers that should not be so cheap on their plans. I think they're selling themselves short. They can get a better experience. So, you know, like you look at AT&T's pricing, Verizon, T-Mobile, even Sprint, their entry-level data plans, the unlimited plans, are really close in terms of pricing.
No, AT&T's is $5 more. That's it. Verizon Start Unlimited, T-Mobile's the basic T-Mobile, the unlimited basic from Sprint. They're all the same. They're $60.
So if every carrier is coming in at 60, 65 with auto pay, then really, like, you got to just pick the best network for your experience.
I understand taxes and fees are included, but
it's still $5 though.
Yeah, it's $5.
Right? Are we talking 7% tax? Are we talking, you know, $2 or $3 surcharge?
Okay, like in Nevada. Okay, here in Nevada, tax on my AT&T bill. I just got it for 10 lines on my enterprise account. The tax was only like $8 for the whole bill.
Okay, so in Ohio, there's like an 8% tax, so it's going to be about $5 or $6 on that line.
Yeah,
on a line
on your whole account.
No, on the whole account, it's going to be how many lines?
Bro, mine was $8 for the whole account.
Yeah, but you're also business. They're probably tax exempting it, right?
No, I get charged everything, bro. I got the bill.
Okay, so here's Bob, right? Bob
and Nevada's different.
Okay, so Bob has a 15% tax in Chicago. So that means on a $60 line. All right, so his taxes are going to be about $10, right? Okay, so yeah, so $10. So if he's saving 10 there, so that brings him down to what, 60 instead of maybe 75?
Yeah.
That's well, Chicago's vicious, bro. That tax 15%. I've never paid that high.
All you gotta do is this. If you have auto pay, like in my personal account, okay, my business account, I have to have it with the address here. It has to be here in order for me to be able to write it off on the taxes. But on my personal account, I know Arizona has cheaper sales tax than even Nevada when it comes to phone bills. So I have my stuff on auto pay for my Verizon plan and my personal T-Mobile plan and my personal Sprint plan. And I put my address in Lake Havasu, Arizona, because I have it on auto pay and paperless. So what does it matter? So then I get charged a cheaper tax over there. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. I mean, there's workarounds. There's ways to finesse it. I'm taking it at face value. So in the case where somebody's paying 12, 15% tax, then that becomes like a real thing. But for most people that are under 10%, 8%, 7%, or in your case, it's like next to nothing, then that makes the argument even more for just choosing the better network and not worrying about the $3 or $4 or $5. So I think there's a large chunk of people who don't live in Chicago, who don't live in Denver, like we have some of the live chat members here. For those that don't have that tax, extreme tax thing, you got to be thinking to yourself, if I'm paying 60 for Sprint, if I'm paying 60 for T-Mobile, if I'm paying 70 for Verizon or 65 for Verizon, if all carriers are pricing within $5, you gotta just pick the best carrier. $5, bro. Like people go to a bar and spend $5 on a beer.
Exactly. If you can spend $5 on a beer, you can spend $5 on a better network
for a month
in your area.
Yeah, bro. So look at the math on that. 16.7 cents per day to have a better network, even if the network is $5 more per month.
Yeah. And that's what people don't understand. Like, okay, let's say twice a week you go grab something to eat real quick on the way home, and you're spending $5 on that meal real quick on your way home. Even though you have food at home to cook, can you just sacrifice one of those and cook at home?
And I'm not telling people,
like, if you had a better network.
But I'm not telling people not to eat. And I'm not telling people not to buy fast food. What I'm telling them is to show you how that $5 is such a small number for most people. Because let's be real, bro. Most people that are really cost sensitive, they're going prepaid. So if we're talking postpaid, the cost difference is the gap has closed. Like when T-Mobile was trying to add subscribers at that vicious rate, they were much cheaper, but their pricing came up a little bit. And then Sprint couldn't keep giving away free lines, bro. They couldn't do it. They had to. I remember when you could walk into a Sprint store, like postpaid, and get yourself 5 lines. I know, and get 5 lines for 100 because Verizon was doing 200.
What are you talking about, bro? Back then, when they were doing get out of the red at Sprint, if you walked in with 5 Verizon lines, you got them free for 1 year. Remember that? All you had to pay was your phone installment. Remember that?
You can't roll like that, bro. That's not good business.
But that's how it was. You know what I'm saying? All you do is pay your taxes and your phone installment. That's it. The service fee was waived as long as you came from the red. I know you remember that promo.
I do. I mean, we're talking 2 years ago, 2.5.
2 years. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember. Man, so like outside of something like that, like which is extreme, most of these plans are pretty close.
Yeah.
5, maybe 10, and that's in the case of some tax dollars right there for some highly priced places for taxes. And
Yeah.
again, we can't control that. We're speaking from the general consumer, the common consumer. You know, we're just assuming like, you know, things can be kind of even, level out the playing field. Look, I don't care that T-Mobile includes taxes. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not that cost sensitive.
Yeah.
I don't know where everybody's situation is. But for somebody who's concerned with network performance, capacity, and experience, $5 is nothing to me. Bro, I give Yasmin
exactly.
$5 for ice cream, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, to me, $5 over the course of a month is what I'm talking about. Like, to show you how fast you could spend $5. Not that you shouldn't spend it. I'm saying to show you how fast it spends and how, like, bro, when I was a kid, $5 was a big deal, but that was 30 years ago. Today, $5 is, you know, 2 drops in a bucket in most cases. Now,
It's
like
like
I
2
said,
cents.
bro, like I said, I know there's cost sensitive people, Carlos. You know it too, bro.
Oh yeah.
But if you're on postpaid, are you that sensitive?
I mean, all you have to think about is this. All prices are basically the same. Whatever network works best in your area, test them. We're not saying go to AT&T or go to Verizon, but we're saying test the network in your area. You know, so sometimes if you have an unlocked phone, you can just get a SIM only line, and you got 14 days. And at 14 days you don't like it, guess what you do? You go back, throw in the damn SIM, and you get your money back. If you have to pay anything.
It's what's interesting is I've used, and I've seen postpaid do this. Carriers, they prorate you for the month. You know, they'll bill you at the end of the month. You say after 7 days, oh, I didn't like the service. Some will tell you, you don't owe us anything. Thanks for trying. Didn't work out, right?
Yep.
Especially if they have a policy or a guarantee on that. Some will say, okay, we're going to bill you for the 7 days used. And that's usually was always my approach. I go to AT&T, look, I want to try the network. I don't want to do a prepaid month because I don't want to pay the full month if I don't like it. They'll say, okay, we're going to prorate you 7 days. So if it was $80 for the month, you know, you divide that by 30 days and give yourself a rate. Use it for 7 days. You know, I owe them 20 whatever dollars, you know, and they're cool with that, you know. So, you know, I say that because I think people, again, losing perspective on how much that $5 represents to the common everyday spender. It's not much, you know. Maybe people, if you're that cost sensitive, maybe it's more of a prepaid thing for you then, you know. I don't know.
Yeah. Because honestly, the price difference is not much anymore. It's really not.
I'm not trying to piss off prepaid folks, not at all. I'm saying that if prepaid folks are sensitive to cost or they're trying to save the money, then, and if you look at prepaid, bro, prepaid similar too.
Yeah.
You know, you get a $60 unlimited prepaid for AT&T. Verizon's got a 55. T-Mobile's got a 55.
What are you talking about? AT&T right now, AT&T prepaid is $45, their new promo.
All right, but that's a pretty
auto pay.
It's pretty bogged down. It's pretty restricted. Because if you're going to do that, then Sprint's got a 35. You know, AT&T's got a 45. Verizon's got a 45. It's the really stripped down one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, my intention, Caleb, I know you're joking. My intention is not to put anybody down. I just, you know.
But basically what we're getting at is test out some of these networks. I know everybody has had bad experience before. And trust me, I hated AT&T. I had bad experience. I got ripped off really bad by them.
Yeah, man.
You know,
we hear the horror stories all the time.
Bro, but they have changed in these last couple of years. You know, maybe AT&T might have not been serviceable or might have not been that good, but they just dumped $50 billion almost in their network in the last couple of years. Maybe it might work decent. Maybe right now you might be all hoorah for Sprint or T-Mobile or Verizon, and you are even watching this live right now, you're buffering, or you have to watch it in 260p or something just to make it work. Maybe AT&T doesn't have that issue in your area. Maybe you got to look at other options. Like it doesn't hurt to try. There's money back guarantees. There's 14-day trials. Some carriers is 30. Give it a shot. Maybe it might work. Maybe you might be happy. Just get it with a new number for right now. Don't port your number. So in case you don't like it, you don't have to worry about the port game.
And that's something that I think matters too. What's the track record of the carrier? How are they treating customers? How easy do they make it to switch?
Yep.
I'm really surprised. I look at the experience that Andy had, and kind of you dealing with customer care. So last couple nights has it been?
It was last night, bro.
Okay,
literally last night.
Okay, so Carlos, I'll kind of give you the floor. Just start from scratch. Kind of tell them what happened and what T-Mobile did.
All right. Well, basically, I have a buddy of mine that I've known for like about a little over 20 years. His name is Andy. He switched from Verizon to T-Mobile because he was on a Start Unlimited plan, and he's not too consumer aware that the plan makes a difference in how you're prioritizing the network. Because in the same area that he was working at, I live in the same area, and I don't have no problems. But of course, I have the higher plan versus he had the Start, so he switched to T-Mobile. And he traded in his device because they had get out of the red deal if you trade in the device. So, of course, they're giving him $650 for the phone. So he was like, screw it. I owe Verizon anyways, $580 for the phone. So I'm gonna bank out on an extra, what is it, $70. So screw it, I'll do it. Why not? Extra $70. So he traded in the phone. Got the iPhone, iPhone Pro Max 11. He got that phone, and then he's been having network issues, like big time network issues, congestion, buffering. He couldn't even watch a video at 144p at his work, right about my house. He couldn't even watch a video without it buffering. I would be talking to him on the phone. He'd be dropping the calls. Just basically, he's having a nightmare, and he was on Magenta Plus. So he's been trying to get out of to get his, like basically leave T-Mobile again because he's like, screw this, I can't take it anymore. He went back to the store. He was like, Carlos, come with me, please. Let's just do this. I was like, all right. So I met him at the T-Mobile store up there in North Las Vegas, by where he lives. We went inside the store. He was like, hey, I need to return this. It ain't working out for me. And then they were like, okay, it's going to be a $50 restocking fee for the phone. And he was okay with it. He was like, all right, screw it. I don't care. He was like, can you go grab me my S10 Plus that I traded in? Bro, they didn't even have the phone. They shipped it out. Like the day after he traded it in, they shipped out the phone. When you have a 14-day return window, he still had like 9 days left on his return policy. And they shipped out his phone already and traded it out. And then the store rep was like, well, if you wanted to test out the service, you should have we would have given you an iPhone 5S to test out the service with. But like I told the guy when I was in there, I was like, well, how's an iPhone 5S going to work for him if you, how do you call it? If it doesn't have all the bands that you guys are currently promoting now that you guys upgraded to since the 5S, a 7-year-old device. And the guy was like, well, that's what we give out to test out the network if you wanted to just test it out. So then, and then the guy was like, well, you have to call customer care to figure out what's going on with your trade-in. So I basically, we went outside, we got in his car. I called customer care. I acted like I was him, to try to clear this up. And they just gave him the biggest runaround. Like we were fighting with the rep. I mean, you heard us, Need.
Yeah.
We were like the reps they were trying to say, oh, we can issue a trouble ticket for the service that you're experiencing. Like, no, it's not just by where it work. It's at his house too. He's only getting a half a meg on the down. Like he can't even watch nothing. He can't even open up a Facebook, without it buffering. So, he's just like, every time it was like they want to issue a trouble ticket, this, that. And then at the end, we talked to the supervisor. The supervisor was trying to do something. And they told us to go back in the store. We were near the store to go, to try to resolve it. So we went back inside. Then I guess the guy noticed that I was recording, and then he started being nice. He was trying to be very helpful.
Nice.
But now, but to cut it short, you have to wait. He has to wait 7 to 10 days before he even knows whether they have his trade-in device or not. If not, he's SOL out of a device he could have sold on the streets for $700 or $650, and on top of it, he had to pay $580 to Verizon out of his pocket to terminate that payment fee, so it doesn't ruin his credit.
It's messed up, man.
At the end, he would be out $580 plus paying the T-Mobile bill for that month, for the proration and all that.
I think something that's often overlooked, Carlos, you could speak to it. Nobody knows customer care better than you. Everybody's caught up in pink shirts, umbrellas, Whoppers, Dunkin' Donuts, 10 cents off a gallon of fuel. That's not customer care, bro. Customer care is sales agents and employees of the telecom informing you about policies, telling you about all the plans they offer, finding the one that suits your needs, finding pricing that fits in your budget, explaining how the network works, money saving opportunities, general information that you should know as a consumer. What about the devices? What about the phones? What about the capabilities? What about the needs of the consumer? Are they addressing? That's customer care. Bro, when you give people free cheap stuff, you're hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
Because the big two don't give anything for free.
Yep.
Like Verizon just started giving a free year of Disney Plus. They just started that. You know what I'm saying? And AT&T got rid of the AT&T TV Now thing, right? If you had the top tier plan, they took it out.
But they give you HBO.
Right, but you get what I'm saying? Like they're not thinking of themselves, what can we give away for free? They're thinking of themselves, we need to make sure we're making money to offer the best service. Like we have to be number one, right? Like, bro, you sell a network. The free stuff is infinitesimal. You know what I'm saying? It's still not the priority. It's still the network. Because, bro, I don't know about you, but when I lose network coverage, what does a pink umbrella give me?
Exactly. When I'm sitting here getting 1 megabit download speeds and I can't even watch a live stream from Jacob without it buffering every 30 seconds on 144p, what are they giving me?
Yeah, I don't see the free stuff as a priority. It's ancillary, it's secondary, it's extra. Okay, fine. I love the added value, stuff that I use. But like the pizza, bro, it doesn't have any meaning to me. The pizza.
The Whopper.
I'll pay for the Whopper. I'll buy a pizza, bro. I'll give you half of it. Bro, we could buy a whole pizza for $10 and we'll each have 4 pieces.
Exactly.
I just don't see the T-Mobile Tuesday as having that much meaning to me as a consumer. I just don't. Now,
this is what people don't understand, Sneed, though. This is a perspective that I was basically trying to get at to a lot of people. Okay, let's say Netflix on us, okay? Let's say
I like the Netflix. I do like the Netflix. I will say like that stuff.
Okay.
Because that's tech related. That's phone experience related. I'm with that.
Well, let's just put it as an example. Let's say instead of, let's say it's $12 a month, okay? Normal price, but they're getting it for $5 because they're getting it by the bulk. By 87 million customers, how much are they throwing every month? Just in that.
Look, Carlos, I know where
that could have been given to the network.
I know where you're going.
What about the Whoppers? They're getting them for, let's say, $1 a piece. That's 87 mil right there. What about the what else? The damn pizza.
But that's so, Carlos, I'm saying anything that's not tech related, anything that's not phone experience related, take all that and keep it. I don't want the umbrella. I don't want the gloves. It's nice and everything, but I don't want it. The Netflix is cool, bro. I'm with it.
Okay.
Sprint's got Tidal, the music streaming, the discounts with the premium service. That stuff is cool, bro. The pizza though, the Dunkin', come on, bro.
Like honestly, bro, I want the
Those are
T-Mobile that used.
consumables. Those are consumables. That's just not.
I want the T-Mobile that was before this NR came on. Even before that, that's the T-Mobile I want to see again. The one that actually was fast.
Bro,
Fast.
I'm sick of going to the T-Mobile stores and them not knowing what I'm talking about, bro.
Exactly.
Not knowing what is a T-Mobile and Sprint merger, what is 2.5 gigahertz, what is carrier aggregation. I'm absolutely just appalled that they don't understand their network. And that's not T-Mobile or Verizon. Agents don't know what they're talking about. You don't get anybody that knows anything until you get to tier 2 support. You know, AT&T, I don't know. I haven't been in there recently. I have no clue. You would know. I don't know.
Bro,
What is
you heard
and Sprint, bro? What does Sprint do?
When I
Like,
was talking to her. You heard when I was talking to the girl yesterday.
yeah, but the girl,
when I told her she knew about
the
her
girl,
network.
but that's all she knows is that we've invested a lot of money in it. It's much better now. But that's kind of where her experience is going to stop.
No, she knew about the bet when I started talking about First Net. She even said, "Oh yeah, our new band 14."
Yeah, because that's their big initiative. That's their big deal. That's what they got going on.
She even knew the band number. You know that right there. You know shows that they're at least like
That's good.
paying attention.
Sure, that's good.
Versus T-Mobile. Like yesterday when I was talking to that guy at the T-Mobile, he was like, "Oh, I told him about N71. He didn't even know what N71 was."
They don't know NR. They don't know what new radio is. They're not going to be able to kind of get on your level there. But it would be nice to go and have, a true customer care experience where they're informing the general consumer. Like I've gone into a T-Mobile store and a girl that has worked there has shown me pricing. Here's what your bill is with us with 7 lines. Here's what your bill is with AT&T. That's cool. I like that. You're more likely to get people to switch if you show them how much they can save on a comparable plan. When they do stuff like that, I'm with that.
Yeah.
We need more of that, bro, but we need more consumer information. Like we're seeking it. We are trying to present it. And, like most people, they're kind of just like, whatever. But, if they're training their agents to be able to inform people, that's going to help them in the long term business wise.
Bro, like, I don't see the benefit of giving all this stuff for free, man. That's like pulling a Sprint move in a way. Sprint was, but in a way, like you're bribing people to stay with you. Like you shouldn't. You should let your network do the talking. And
I think Sebi's right to a certain. I think Sebi's right to a certain extent. Some sales agents are just, they just don't have the capacity or want to be knowledgeable on it. They don't go above the minimum requirements. They're entry level sales and they're not really driven. And they don't want to know. Maybe.
Like, bro, like, but they're going in there, bro, and you heard it yesterday, bro. Like where they're trying to sell phones, they're trying to push it towards the 5G. Like that's not right, like to be misleading a consumer. I'd rather have somebody tell me like, hey.
So Carlos, like I've used CellMapper for the last couple of months and I've been tracking the band 71 availability. Yeah. There's only a handful of towers with band 71 in the Cleveland area. Most of the band 71 is in extended rural area. Like it's off of the interstate where it's a little bit more rural and it's the more spread out counties.
Okay, so that's how they're doing it over there too then. Because that's how they're doing it here.
And I'm perfectly fine with that approach. They're trying to cover up their coverage gaps. But it doesn't help me to buy an NR device. Why do you, Carlos, I have a YouTube channel where we're covering 5G technology. And I can't justify owning a T-Mobile 5G device in my area. Like I can't, there's nothing for me to test here. Like I'm better off just testing LTE, like there's nothing really to test.
Exactly.
Now for somebody who's in an area that has a lot of band 71, then yeah, that makes more sense.
Hold on, somebody let this slide a little word here. Hold on. Yeah, okay, there we go. We can't have that on there. We need. Hey, whoever's modding in the room tonight, please, like,
I can
just
do it.
because.
I could do it. Is it gone? Do you need me to do anything?
Yeah, I already did it, but please, like, I know, guys, it's hard. Trust me. Sneed knows when we talk on the phone how I swear myself, but it's just because YouTube will give you so many strikes, and eventually, like, then they'll stop you. Then they'll put like timeouts on you where you can't stream or you can't post something for a while and stuff like that because if you get too many strikes for it, because the type of category that he puts it under.
Yeah. So I think about all these aspects of considering the networks and considering your providers. Cost is big, but network experiences too, and I think you got to find that balance. I think what we'll do is, Carlos, let's just kind of hang out for another 5-10 minutes. Let's see what the people, the SMT Nation, are talking about here. Let's see what's happening. What's up,
Right now I'm
Gregory?
getting ready to meet Andy right now because he's doing the switch, bro.
Oh, no way.
Like, he don't care about taking the L no more, bro. He just can't take it anymore. Like, that's how mad he is. That's how upset he is that he don't even care about taking the L.
What's up, Maurice? Maurice says, how will band 12, 66, and 71 be with added customers if the merger happens? So, Maurice, what's going to happen is 100% right away. It's a network integration. We're going to see a whole slew of spectrum that has to kind of be woven together. You got to make the Sprint network and the T-Mobile network one. So Neville Ray's job is going to become very, very critical, because what happens is you're going to have to start migrating customers from Sprint operation to T-Mobile operation, and you can't dump them all at the same time. Adding 50 million consumers, there's no network that could handle that immediately. So 2.5 has to get going instantaneously. The LTE I'm talking about what Sprint has. That has to start getting moved over. So actually, Sprint service may get bad for a little bit. It's going to get, like, even in good places, it's going to get bad. And then
Sneed, what they're going to do is, because you know how Sprint already has extended LTE already, like, set up for Sprint customers on band 12, 66, and all that. So I think what they're going to do is they're just going to put them more on the extended LTE side.
Oh, they can't do that. No.
No
way, bro.
Maybe.
Bro, that would be amazing if they could offload them for a month, 2 months. That would be amazing. I don't think they could. No way. That would be horrible for the other companies. I see like waves of transfers, like 1 million here, a couple million there, later a little, like I see this, these little, drop offs, like dumps. They're going to dump a couple million at a time. And by doing that, it gives them time to then buffer the experience, do some of the integration, migrate some customers a little bit more, migrate some more customers. There's no other way they could do it, like, efficiently. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, that's true. Yeah.
The only company I think that could handle a massive migration would be AT&T.
Yeah, because of the capacity.
Yeah. I mean, it's just simple spectrum allocations. They just got the concentration. So, like I said, I think the transition is going to be tough. I think Sprint customers will pay the price initially. The first ones that get migrated will be happy. The last ones that get migrated will be the least happy. And I think it's got to be in those phases, though. It's got to be in those stages.
It has to.
Good question, though. We'll see what they end up doing. It's going to be tough. But with 2.5, the possibilities are endless because of how much they have. And the nature of midband, right? Just the way it works.
And the 5G is going to be great. That's for sure. Because if we already see how good it is with Sprint, imagine with the added funds to be able to roll it out at a heavier pace. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, Ronald, I don't know. I don't know if AT&T could take on 50 million. But I think if any carrier can do it right now, they're probably the only one if there's a chance. That's what I mean. Verizon can't. If Verizon gets 10 million people to switch to unlimited plans, I think the network probably slows down by like 50%. Like
Yeah,
we'd
it'll slow
be
down.
seeing 80 megs going down to like 40 megs. You'd be seeing 50 megs going down to 25 megs. It would hurt.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Because I mean, they're pushing every dang outside of the spectrum, but still
Yeah.
not enough.
They're milking ants, bro.
Yup. Do eSIMs cause negative effects on networks?
None.
No, no.
It's just the
Oh,
provisioning. That's all it is.
Alexis did a $10 super chat right now.
Hey, Alexis, thank you for the super chat. Keep your focus. You're helping us all
Oh,
get smarter. Yeah, doing our best here. Thank you so much for the
trying.
super chat, Alexis. Appreciate you. Thank you. That's the first super chat of the night, actually. I don't think we had any, did we? Unless I missed it. I don't know.
I haven't seen any. No.
Thanks for the super chat, Alexis. Let the floodgates open, possibly. All right. What else we got here?
Wow, I'm surprised that Rafi ain't in the house.
Oh, yeah, we haven't seen Rafi today. Raf's usually
Yeah,
here, for all the Friday lives. I hope he's well.
yeah. Hopefully he's doing all right.
Maybe he's just busy, or maybe it's because we came on a little early. Usually the 8:30 time and stuff.
Yeah, maybe he might be at work or something. But if you see this on the replay, man, what's up?
All right, so Christian has a Sprint LG G3, a Samsung Galaxy S4. What would happen to those devices? So as long as they're unlocked, you'll probably get most compatibilities on the new T-Mobile network. The only thing you're not going to have is going to be band 71, band 66, band depending on because it's a Sprint model. I don't know if they'll have like 12. I don't know if it'll I don't know.
Very, very limited, bro. Very limited.
Yeah, because those devices may be holding on a lot of connectivity to CDMA.
Yeah, it's a very dominant CDMA device. Oh wow, dude! Guess what
Jamal?
it's connecting to? On the T-Mobile variant, on the low band.
Band 5?
Yeah.
We'll run a test.
This is a T-Mobile 5G phone. I didn't know it was
Run
gonna
a
work,
test.
bro. It finally worked.
Why don't you run a test and see
Oh,
if you
never
can
mind.
get
It dropped. It dropped.
went back to LT.
Yeah.
Move a little bit. See
But
if you can locate a tower site. Get on Cell Mapper.
I already know where it's at, bro. It's like a mile away from where I'm at.
A mile away should get you coverage, though. Because we're talking about band 5, bro. Band 5 is low band. It's 850.
But it does work 100% though. That's for sure. Now I know for sure that the unlock Note 10 from T-Mobile will work on AT&T's low band. Yeah, it doesn't connect, bro. I think I'm too far from the tower. There's a lot of obstruction.
But bro, low band, a mile is nothing for low band.
At least a mile. I'm just throwing a number. It actually might be more.
We're seeing low band work from 3 miles in some cases, 2 miles.
I was connected to it. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe like Ricky said, maybe it's just not on a tall site. Maybe it's on a shorter site.
It's probably a
50 footer.
Which was that?
This is AT&T.
All right. Well, I think what we're going to do is, Carlos, we're going to be getting off here soon.
Yeah.
Want to close up shop, but we're going to hit Twitter, though.
Yeah, let's hit Twitter. Let's
hit Twitter. Let's do a little bit on Twitter.
You guys want to join us? Join us on the tweet.
Yeah, I'll be available on audio. Carlos is probably going to host it, but we'll be hitting the Twitter. So go in the description box.
Right there's my boy Andy, man. Andy,
what's up, Andy?
Live right now.
What's happening, bro?
What's up?
The
right
homie,
here,
man.
At the AT&T right here.
All right, listen. Here's what we're gonna do. We'll get on the Twitter shortly. Let me do some thank yous. Big shout out to all in the live chat. Thanks for being here tonight, guys. If you make it over to my Twitter or Carlos's Twitter, we've got our Twitter handles in the description box. Big shout out to the patrons. Big shout out to Alexis for the super chat. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Michael also for the PayPal donation. I think I got one there. And yeah, it's been awesome. Good show, excellent job, and we'll probably be doing one pretty soon too. We'll see if we might be going live Monday night. We'll keep you guys posted. And we'll be over on Twitter. Big shout out to all the patrons. Big shout out to the SMT Nation. Big shout out to Carlos. Thanks, bro.
Dude, no problem, bro.
Shout out to all the moderators. I know I saw a few of you. Ricky was in the house. I forget who else. I know Rafi wasn't here.
Down tonight.
Who else was here for moderators?
I think it was just Ricky, bro, holding down the whole house tonight.
May have been another one, man. I know Ronald came on at one point, so big shout out to Ron.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, we'll be over there. Check it out. Like this video on the way out. Head over to the SMT live streams channel if you want to see all the old replays. This will be processing. I'll get this back out here shortly and post it over there. That's it. I'm the SMT on behalf of Carlos. Yeah, get the likes up.
Thank you.
We out of here, man.
The likes, or I'm going to hit that hammer.
Peace.
Peace.